Hello everyone to the Session 3 Week 1 review. We're going to be talking about the Battle Arenas. So let's take a look around, and we can see I've got my test arena set up, and we've got a few people that have been building the beginnings of the arenas. We got one up in the air, looks like we got a lava one, and one of the students is even building a treehouse style arena. So it's going to be pretty cool when that one gets finished. So last week we were just getting the building going. Remember, this entire world is a creative world, so it doesn't matter what you do, you just have access to everything. And there's some key parts to every arena that we need to talk about. So let's take a look at my test arena first, and let's see what we've got. Alright, so the first part is we've got walls up. Now the walls are basically to keep the players inside the arena so they can't just run away. You could build an open arena and people could run away, but then you're basically gonna run out of time, and it's not very fun. So you always want some walls. You can go up, you can go down, you can do whatever you want to do. Pretty much just stay in a rectangle shape and you're good to go. The next part is you'll want to pick some spawn points, or where the players will start. So I've made these two spawn points, and I've made them so that the other players outside here cannot get in to the spawn point, and that is to protect people from just getting camped or kind of stuck. So if you play a mode where the players die and they respawn, it's kind of terrible if the other players are already sitting here just waiting to whack you at the moment you hit respawn. So try and make the spawn points not easily accessible. One problem with this might be that classes like the magic user or the archer could just stay inside here, and they can never get attacked. So problems like that, you're gonna have to solve with the arena. What are you gonna do to make it so that the archers can't just stay back here and shooting arrows and stuff like that? So we've got our spawn points, and they're pretty identical, and we're trying to keep some symmetry. Don't give one team too much leeway. All right, and one other trick I did for this arena is that you're going to want some traps. You're going to want something to happen. Maybe it's going to be a slime pusher that's going to be bouncing people up and down. Maybe you want something in the ceiling dropping lava. But one of the tricks to your arena is that you're going to want to have some space to build redstone. So I suggest that you give yourself plenty of room below your arena to do some tricky stuff and make it more interesting than just being a flat surface like this. This is pretty boring, so I want to see you guys make some really cool lava traps, some tree houses. The one in the sky is maybe it's going to bounce us off the thing and drop us to our death. All that kind of stuff. Maybe you want a floor that's just lava and you only have little floating islands or something else to get around to. Alright, so that's our arena. This is a really basic one. Just two starting points, two teams. And then you also need to make a waiting room. So this is my little waiting room off to the side, and you can see you coming down inside, and when you join the game you're put here before the game actually starts, and this lets you choose your class. So you've got gladiator, archer, monk, and fire mage right now. I'll be letting you guys build your own classes later on. It's pretty simple. You just basically tell me what items and enchantments and stuff that class is, and then I'll put it together into the server. We also have a leave sign, so that after you join, if you want to leave, you can just right click on that and it will bounce you out back over to our our joining room. So right now this is just the only building here, but we'll build some more after the arenas get ready to go. And you'll see I've got my information about the arena. It's two teams of two players, and they have 1 life each. And then I have a join sign to join the blue team, and I have a join sign to join the red team. And so you can right click on that and join the teams. As long as there's not too many people inside, you should be able to join that team. So let's go look and see what we've got. Let's make it a little bit brighter. Alright, and so our very first guy, he's got his signs up telling me what team is going to go where. So the team numbers are: red is number 1, blue is number 2, white is number 3, and black is number 4. So the most teams I allow right now in any of the different versions of the arena is 4 teams. So you can either have 2 spawns or 4 spawns. Later on, we'll have a free-for-all arena, and that will go up to about 8 students, or 8 players at a time. So you'll have to make 8 spawns. So just mark down where do you want spawn to be with a sign, and then I will add that in once you have your arena ready to go for everybody. Alright. Now down here, I asked the students that were working on these to put down the diamond blocks to kind of mark out the rectangle that they wanted, for this arena. That way I can guard this area for them, and that way nobody else can mess with it during the build phase. And so this student, he's got this. Having a nether portal is probably a bad thing. I haven't actually tested it, but we'll get away from that, it's really loud. I haven't really tested what's going to happen. It should disable teleports when you're in an arena, but I have not actually thought to put another portal in there, so I'll have to try that out on my arena and see what happens. If it does teleport you out to the nether, don't put another portal in your arena, because it's going to break the game. Alright, and then similar here, got our diamond blocks down, so now this whole area is protected for him to build in until he's ready to open it up to everybody to play in the arena. So one other thing that you can do in your arena that is special to this mod is you can choose to have items spawn. And then what I mean is you can basically put down a sign that will tell me, hey teacher, I want golden apple here. I want it to spawn in after the first minutes. So first spawn 60 seconds. And then I want to say I want it to respawn let's say every 2 minutes after that, so 120 seconds. So you put that down, and then later on when you tell me your place is ready to go or you update it, I can go into that arena and I can say, hey, let's make that a spawn point for that item. And you can do that with pretty much any item that is in the game. I think you can do enchanted weapons, but it's really tedious for me to look up the command for that. So I suggest just giving basic items, food, potions, anything that's just a simple item code is best. We also can use our magic wands here. That's what the fire mage actually does. It's spawning a custom wand with certain spells and certain abilities on it. And so I've been experimenting with that a little bit more. It's hard to balance. Some spells are really powerful, and some spells are really weak, so I haven't really gone through the 180 spells that are in the game by default, and I haven't messed with all the different levels of power that each one can gain, so I'm going to be making some really simple ones to start with, and we'll see how well they do. If they really aren't as good as, say, the archer or the gladiator, then we'll buff them up, or we might nerf the gladiator and archer down, because I know they're running around with enchanted bows and diamond swords and stuff, so might make things a little bit more simple, not as magical. So that is pretty much what we're going to be focusing on this next week. If those that want to build arenas, hopefully more students will get into it. It's pretty fun once you get going, and also while you guys are trying to play in my test arena, you'll realize it's not very exciting, and 2, only 4 people can go at a time. So all of you that are waiting to play the next arena, well, you might as well just go and build your own arena, and then you can play more. The more arenas we have, the less waiting there is. Alright, and let's see, let's do a quick see where people are. Oh, I gotta make myself in creative mode. So, I think some people have been working a little bit. They didn't really finish their railroad. They haven't really been doing much. They were mostly playing around with their magic wands this last session. So I don't think this group has done much that I can visibly see. Tribe B, we had another new player start their house. So, and a lot of their team was out sick, so not too much progress, but hopefully they'll finish up their railroad. The railroad's almost done. They just need to go around the buildings like I asked, and then they'll get lots and lots of money for that. And then Tribe C, this is actually two of the the only 2 people that were there last week were both building arenas, so they didn't spend very much any time in their town this last week. subscribe D. I wanted to show off the very noisy. I'll back away from it. It's very noisy, but this player did build a trap where you can see the minecarts are going back and forth. They're being pushed by two powered portals. So when they hit the top, they get pushed back down. And with the railroad is all detector things, so it knows that when the minecart's there, it's triggering those doors. So it's a bit of a tricky trap to try and get across while it's all going there. And it's to help keep people out of her house. So pretty interesting. I really like the trap, and she got a lot of money to build it. So now she can focus more on her house or go in and build a ballerina. Otherwise, they're mostly running around playing with their magic wands. Not too much construction going on this week. This group is also very close on their railroad. They just need to kind of loop it around. They've got a really cool road system going through most of the buildings. They just need to kind of put in some extra paths and some extra switches, and then they'll get a lot of money for the town. Alright. And all the towns have a lot of money right now too, because I gave you all the towns about 500 gold so we could do the outpost later on. So if you need to expand your town at all, your town mayor can help you out with that. And they have been working a little bit on their railroad system. They've added this back part. Looks like they're going to be going around a little bit more, so that's good. And otherwise, they were mostly working on their wands and playing around with that. So it was a pretty wild week, and hopefully I won't accidentally close the server in the middle of class and cause any trouble. So I think that was it. I don't think anybody's spent any time in the creative world. I think all this is pretty much the same. Creative world's not as exciting. There's no nothing to cast magic at, unfortunately. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so that is this week's video. I look forward to seeing everybody this week. Hopefully everybody's healthy again. I know we had quite a few people out for some nasty flu. And I look forward to playing in your arenas and fighting you all, and I will probably lose terribly. And don't forget, Minecraft 1.9 just dropped today. You can try it out at home. We will not be upgrading the server. 1.9 this session, I already tried. It was a disaster. Most of the mods do not work. So probably next year we'll have a 1.9 server for the group. Alright. We'll see you guys Thursday. Bye.